My name is Hiro Lee, and I've been a volunteer with PAWS, Pets Are Worth Saving, since 2013. Since then, I've been involved volunteering on and off with other groups and organizations as well. I can't speak for the whole organization, but I would like to speak as an individual myself. I'd like to talk about my experience and how I perceive this organization, PAWS, to be. When we speak for the voiceless, we really don't look at what color that pet is. And although the majority of, for instance, dogs are black dogs, the color to us doesn't matter. We continue to work together as an organization, even working with other groups here in the local area and abroad, to help improve the quality of life for them, their species, their kind, the animals, the pets, that we continue to find the solutions to improve, to better solve the pet overpopulation problem that we are faced with here in the South. So the other day, at a public city council meeting here in the local area, an individual stood to speak up about why we as a community in the city of Florence should not build a shelter for whatever reason. That reason so happens to be about the color, race of a certain neighborhood. In short, it somehow evolved to become a racial issue, which surprised me as an individual. Whatever racial orientation that I fall under, I think of myself as an American, especially here in the shoals. So when we speak for the voiceless, we don't really see a certain color, race, when it comes to the animals, the pets. The only race that we should be concerned about is our race, the human race. From what I know and understand, a successful, civilized, thriving society, educated enough to understand that other life forms and beings should be cared for. We, as a society, should stand up and take responsibility for the unwanted, abandoned, abused, the disabled. As a society, a civilized society, in order to develop and improve the quality of life for us, we need to understand how to solve the problems of other life forms and other beings. So when the individual provided the reason that a shelter should not be built in their neighborhood because that neighborhood happens to be a certain color, why would a certain neighborhood not want an animal shelter built in their neighborhood? From his perspective, and for however that individual came to that conclusion, he can't speak for the whole neighborhood, could he? And if he is speaking for the whole neighborhood, the question to ask is, what does the color of a neighborhood have anything to do with why we shouldn't build an animal shelter in that location. For whatever reason, it's still difficult for me to understand. An animal shelter should be welcomed in any neighborhood for the animals, the pets that we are continuously working hard to care for. That animal shelter symbolizes how that area deals with the issues that needs to be improved upon. And that's the quality of life. It begins with how we treat our pets and animals, because how we treat them reflects on how we treat each other. It's still hard for me to comprehend why there are accusations, misnotions, assumptions, or misconceptions that the color of people have anything to do with a community to not build a vital and significant structure such as a school, a library, a hospital. Such structures is more likely to help a community to better function and become more productive. There's really nothing negative or any downsides that I see to have an animal shelter built in any area, in any neighborhood. It's not about color. It's about how a society, a civilized society, can thrive and develop by taking advantage of the opportunity. We as a society should welcome a structure like an animal shelter built in the community, in the city, despite whatever neighborhood or color certain individuals perceive or identify themselves to be. How I see it is to deny such a structure from being built would be like depriving that area, location, neighborhood of the resources and services to develop, to be more constructive as a productive, civilized society. If our culture is to ignore the unwanted, the neglected, the abused, the disabled, then where will we end up as a people? The only race we should be concerned about is our race, the human race. And for us to perceive that an animal shelter is just for the animals, it's just a misconception or a misnotion or a stereotypical belief. Some of us consider animals as our loved ones, as our family. When we see them being abused, neglected, lost, unwanted, we need to think outside ourselves. Think about what may happen beyond that if we don't take the necessary steps and actions to help our neighbors understand building such a structure will provide better resources for our neighborhood, his neighborhood, your neighborhood, our neighborhood, any neighborhood, to continue to thrive as a civilization. We need to continue being productive, building such structures.